Getting your hands on a great budget gaming laptop is a bit tough in 2022 when you consider the state of the world we live in. However, you still have some options, although not many to be honest. Most of these laptops are from previous years, some just came out a few months ago, and some of them were announced at CES 2022 and aren't even available to purchase yet. On another note, before you roast me in the comments saying how the hell any of these laptops are budget, please do remember that we are still in a global chip shortage, and on top of that, there's inflation as well, resulting in at least 25% higher prices for the end consumer, unless of course you are willing to buy previous year's devices, but I'll still try to keep them around $1,000 mark. So, let's start the list with the last year's model, Dell G15. The Dell G15's price sits well below our budget limit, but you still get a hardware, good enough to play any game you like. For the price, you get an AMD Ryzen 5 and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 GPU. These are much better specs than what you get with some of HP budget lineup. Its base configuration comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of SSD, but you can upgrade both either while placing your order or later on when you wish to. This isn't a 300Hz 4K gaming laptop, but smooth graphics on the 120Hz 1080p panel most definitely will cater to your needs. In our battery rundown tests, the Dell G15 provided 10 hours of YouTube video streaming over Wi-Fi at 720p quality settings. Add on top of plenty of port options and a wide viewing angle, the Dell G15 is also a great workhorse if you need an everyday workstation to run your engineering software or do resource-intensive video editing. On a side note, one of our longtime sponsors, Game Team, is giving away Minecraft hosting to 3 lucky winners. To join, simply comment down below. We'll announce the winner in the next video. This is one of the first laptops that come to mind when we think of affordable gaming laptop. If you are okay with playing with a relatively older GPU from 2020, I'd highly recommend it since you can comfortably get 30 to 40 plus FPS even on modern games. This is hardly esports material, but I doubt most of us will compete in tournaments either. Add the 9-hour battery time to it, and you get a laptop you could play games, work and study on for roughly about $800. I'd definitely call it a bargain. The downside with most of these budget gaming laptops, however, you can't really customize them to your needs. It supports up to 16 gigs of RAM, which is perfectly enough for almost all games, but it'll let you down if you need to run engineering applications, CAD software, or try rendering 4K videos. But other than that, it's highly recommended. The base model of this device comes with an AMD Ryzen 5 5600H CPU, dedicated NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of SSD storage. It was more than adequate for all the games we tested on HP Pavilion. Of course, just remember to turn down the game's visual settings a bit, and you'll be fine. Next up, let's look at another HP laptop, but with a bit more customization freedom, HP Omen 16. Honestly, I'd recommend this one over HP Pavilion as its base model comes with the same price tag, but you get it better in your hardware. You could pay $850 and get a GTX 1650 GPU with an Intel i5, 8 gigs of memory, and 512 gigs of SSD storage. Or you could shell out a hefty $1,500 to get an RTX 3060 with 16 gigs of memory and an 11th generation Intel Core i7 processor. Regardless of which option you choose, you'll still be able to play any games you like comfortably. The higher specs just define your FPS rates. The Intel Core i7 11800H processor included within delivers excellent performance, making it ideal for some serious 1080p gaming, although not for 4K or VR. Then there's the stunning 144Hz display and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 graphics processor, which are also included with the top spec. It has a simple 4-zone RGB keyboard, USB 4 and Thunderbolt 4 connections, as well as a Wi-Fi 6 connection. Just get yourself a mouse and maybe a pair of headphones, and you're ready to play any game at 1080p. So, we mentioned a 2020 and a 2021 model from HP. It's hard to believe they also happen to have a 2022 model with a lower price tag than any of these above, the HP Victus 16. First of all, you aren't limited to Intel with the Victus 16, as AMD Ryzen 5 processor model is also available at the same price point. You have a few options here. You could get the previous year's Victus 16 for a cheaper price than other 2 HP laptops and get an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 1650, or you could get the 2022 model paying just a little above $1,000 and get NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti or RTX 3060. allowing you to play some demanding modern titles at even triple FPS rates on a beautiful 144Hz Full HD 1080p display. It also happens to be highly customizable. Your RAM options ranging from 8 gigs to 32 gigs. Also, the fact that you get a state-of-the-art NVMe SSD instead of ancient hard drives or SATA SSD is incredible. We posted a few extensive reviews on that model a couple of months ago. In our battery rundown tests, it lasted just under 8 hours watching a YouTube video on Chrome with screen brightness set to 40%. It's well above Dell G13 and a bit below Alienware M15 and MSI Delta 15, both higher-end gaming laptops with higher price points. This is plenty of juice if you want a daily workhorse that you can game on. It's obvious that HP is planning to replace their Pavilion lineup with the Victus 16, and its design proves that HP intended it to double as a work laptop with great gaming capabilities. It isn't covered in bright RGB lights like you'll find in other gaming-intended laptops. Comes with a full 10-key keyboard and a numpad. One downside is that HP had to make some cuts to be able to offer these specs at a lower price point, and it shows in material. It has a wobbly display, lower quality touchpad, and lacks biometrics and Thunderbolt port. Next up, I want to include a CES 2022 laptop, Alienware X14. I perfectly understand that starting price point at $1,800 isn't exactly budget-friendly, but compared to all other laptops that came out in the event, its price is on the lower side. In contrast to the Alienware M17 R5 Ryzen Edition, which emphasizes power and performance, the Alienware X14 is designed for portability, since it is the smallest Alienware model ever. Because of its sleek design, sharp 14-inch display, 12th generation Intel processors, and RTX 30 series GPU, this is an excellent choice for anyone looking for a desktop replacement. Although I'd recommend an external monitor since 14-inch is hardly gaming material. The Alienware X14 is one of the most aesthetically pleasing gaming laptops that came out this month. Its specs also don't disappoint, offering up to 2 TB of NVMe SSD, 16 or 32 gigs of RAM, and up to NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. These are some of the best budget laptops I'd recommend if you're in need of an affordable gaming rig. Most other laptops haven't hit the market yet, so I'll be making another video in the coming months to include some other exciting models like Asus ROG Flow Z13, Acer Predator Triton 500 SC, and the new 2022 Predator Helios 300. Until next time.